Good evening, Commonwealth. Thanks for watching the Channel 2 News. I'm Chris Nelson in for Ashley McDowell. Let's take a look at tonight's top stories. A scary accident on a dark, slippery highway is a call for emergency. Also tonight, MVA and the governor's office walk on a financial tightrope. And we'll go down to any depth to get a story about a yellow submarine. In sports, it took this building 4 years to get back up running. Stay with us. These stories and more are next.
"48 hours. That's all we get in a week. But those 48 hours, we try to make them last forever. How? By filling in fast with all the right stuff. With a lot of laughter, a little drama, some adventure, and a whole lot of love."
Dad, Mom's here.
It happens pretty quick,
Bye, Dad.
but it's cool. Because the rest of the week, we talk about our plans
You want to go to the beach?
on how to make the next 48 hours last us a lifetime.
A full life, measured in seats, starts with the right ones early on. Car crashes are the #1 killer of children 1 through 13. Learn how to prevent deaths and injuries by using the right car seat for your child's age and size.
Hafa Tirwami and good evening, Commonwealth. Today is Wednesday, September the 18th, 2019. Traffic was snarled on Middle Road last night after a bad accident. According to a witness at the scene, a white 4Runner heading south in Gualarai flipped and landed on the road. A Nissan Rogue traveling south smashed into it, ripping off its front end. No severe injuries were reported, but as you can see, they were shaken up and taken to CHCC. Police blocked off the 2 middle lanes, causing traffic to back up both ways. MVA officials on Capitol Hill this afternoon for a closed-door meeting with the Lieutenant Governor and the Secretary of Finance. Funding to MVA for this year is about $6 million short, and officials met today to try and get an idea of how to balance important marketing efforts with the limited funding. Finance Secretary David Attelig says there is currently very little wiggle room.
What we do is we monitor our revenue collections daily. I get a report daily on what we collect. Our priority is to pay the settlement fund. Currently we pay $1.1 million a week. And then obviously the bond payments that we have, and then as well as payroll, which includes PSS, as an agreed upon amount that we pay bi-weekly. We try to, as collections increase, we try to pay vendors and pay more than we can for PSS and NMC MVA, as we met today.
The government collects the hotel tax, and by law, 80% of that money is supposed to go to MVA. MVA has a number of offshore contracts in Japan, China, and Korea that it is now late paying, and the fear is that if MVA stops marketing, it could hurt arrivals, which could make the CNMI financial problems worse. Message to you was we need the hotel tax to do the marketing, which brings in money to the economy. What's the plan going forward?
Well, as I shared with the board and with the board and the MVA's accountant, that we are cash strapped. I'm doing the best that I can to remit monies to MVA, because we do know that this is a vital part of our tourism market, to bring in visitors, which is our main industry. So as I collect monies, I've shared that I will be remitting over $500,000 of the hotel occupancy tax to MVA this week. Looking to pay another $1 million towards the end of the fiscal year, and that any monies that are still due from FY 2019, I will carry it on to the new fiscal year and do my best to chip at it and give them the monies.
Lieutenant Governor Arnold Palacio says finances in the new fiscal year could be a bit better. Skymark Airlines is expected to come on board, reviving Japanese tourism numbers, and the census will pump in about $10 million into the local economy, but he says there is no magic bullet. How do the finances look going in? We're almost done with this fiscal year, going into the new year. Are we going to have austerity, or what's the plan?
Well, according to our projection and finances projection, things are fairly stable and they're going to be the same. We're not going to be over projecting ourselves. Having said that, we will continue to monitor it, and if it warrants, I tell you, if it shows that we can suspend austerity, we will. Governor and I will not hesitate to do that. But we don't want to deny the fact that we're still recovering, and our economy is still at the level that although it's recovered, we're not at the level where we were at last year. We still have a lot of debts.
One of the top natural attractions in the Mariana Islands is the Saipan Lagoon, and one of the top man-made attractions here is a fully functioning submarine that immerses you into the ocean. Let's take a look. Saipan boasts some of the clearest and bluest water in the world. Saipan Submarine has been taking visitors under sea level for close to 30 years. They began operations in 1991. Every 3 years, the submarine comes out of the water and goes through a dry dock period. Recently completed, the sub is now back in familiar surroundings. Operations Manager Scott Eck. What do people really react to on the submarine?
What we have to offer on the submarine compared to other submarine experiences, it's not just a submarine experience. In other places, that's what they sell it as. You go down, you come up, and you got to ride on a submarine. But what we have is we have fish, we have beautiful blue water, we've got giant corals, healthy corals, and a lot of fish. We've got some World War II artifacts. We've got a shipwreck, a Japanese shipwreck, and some U.S. airplane parts that we fly by. So, we always have a chance of seeing a turtle or two. We see sharks sometimes, and everything is natural. We don't artificially put anything into the tour itself.
Prior to working at the submarine, Eck owned and operated Saipan Aquajet, which specialized in diving tours. He knows the local waters well. What's the coolest thing you've seen out on the water here?
The coolest thing.
Boat. We've seen dolphins, and I've seen like pretty amazing stuff with you. But you've been on the water a lot here.
It's kind of funny. I go back to that water spout that happened back in 2012, I think it was. That water spout was pretty amazing. I was on the submarine and just watched it come right over to us. But as far as wildlife, it's amazing how many turtles we have in our lagoon. The Tanapag Lagoon has, a thriving turtle population, and the biologists say that they're not resident turtles. They came from Philippines or came from some other location, and they're here to mature. But we love them. You can drive on the ride out to the submarine. I'll see 5, 7 turtles sometimes underwater. We might see 1 or 2. We've seen dolphins inside the lagoon also from the submarine. It's pretty rare, but we have seen that. I'm a big critter kind of guy. I like mantas and whales and things like that. So those are the things that get me excited. And
health workers are on the prowl for places that rats and mosquitoes breed. Rats can spread the dangerous leptospirosis disease and mosquitoes dengue fever, Sally Lemus reports.
BAH will be roaming around the villages inspecting homes for breeding sites of mosquitoes and rodents, which can be commonly found in standing water. Partnered with the mayor's office, zoning office, and more, the public will be assisted in the removal of debris such as lumber, tin, and tires.
The main reason we started doing this is because of the dengue outbreaks in neighboring countries. We're trying to keep the CNMI safe and educated. So the main goals of this are education and awareness. So the best way to prevent dengue is to prevent mosquitoes. The main ways you can do that here are to, especially, this is, the main thing that the vector breeding inspections are about, is get rid of that debris that holds water. So that means tires, that means coconut husks, that means pet bowls and trash cans and anything else that has standing still water, because that's where mosquitoes breed.
Rodents are a problem for leptospirosis. CHCC advises the public to properly contain food and watch out for leftovers in order to disattract rodents.
The CHCC, as of now, believes that the chance of an outbreak is still low. We're remaining very vigilant. We've started, for example, handing out information to travelers returning from countries affected by dengue. We're trying to spread the awareness. The inspections, a lot of that is about spreading education and awareness in the community. But yeah, we're prepared. That's something that our emergency preparedness program has very much on their radar. Something I'm involved in is the PIO. Everyone at the CHCC, the doctors here, the medical providers on the rest of the island know what to look for. So we're being very vigilant. We really don't want this to get to the CNMI, and we need the public's help in making sure that that doesn't happen.
The vector breeding inspections will start on September 19 at the southern parts of the island, which will be Coblerville, San Antonio, Afetnes, and Chalancanoa, before moving northward.
We ask that residents restrain their pets for the safety of the inspectors and the pet. So residents can contact the mayor's office for the assistance in removal of debris such as lumber, tin, and tires. They can also contact the zoning office or the mayor's office for assistance in removing junk vehicles.
This is Sally Lemus reporting for KSPN.
All right, thanks for that story, Sally. Coming up, students get creative with something from our backyard that was taught by our ancestors. Stay tuned for more details. More news after the break.
Get the phone plan you're looking for at IT&E. Stay connected with the strongest, widest, and most reliable network in the Marianas. Stream, share, play, shop, and surf the web with super fast 4G LTE data. Whether you need just a few gigabytes of data to get by, or if you want to go further with unlimited data, there's a plan for you. You'll always get the best price. Visit any IT&E store or call us to learn more. IT&E. Explore your world.
Half a day, CNMI. Our reefs are very important because numerous species and people depend on them for food and protection. However, they are vulnerable to our changing oceans, which absorb about 25 to 30% of the world's carbon dioxide emission. This extra carbon lowers the pH of the ocean water, making it more acidic. Ocean acidification makes it harder for corals and other organisms that depend on calcium carbonate, like crabs and mollusks, to survive. But don't worry, it's not all gloom and doom. You can lessen ocean acidification by reducing carbon emissions. Consider driving less, using less AC, and eating local fruits and veggies. You can help keep corals healthy too. Just remember, don't step on the reef, don't break the reef, and do not take corals. Ocean acidification threatens our islands, but we can work together to help coral reefs resist these changes.
Jose and Pedro were born on the very same day. Jose liked to play sports. Pedro liked to play video games. Jose's favorite word was pass. Pass me the ball. Pedro's favorite word was pass too. Pass me the rice. Jose is retired and has both time and energy. His life is just beginning. Pedro has diabetes, hypertension, and gout. His life could soon end. Eat less, play more, live longer. Brought to you by PHI, the pharmacy you can trust. Welcome back. You're watching the Wednesday night edition of the Channel 2 News. September allows us to take a look back and remember how our elders lived a simple life with simple hobbies. Using the trees around them, they created art that we continue to pass on.
As we continue to celebrate Chamorro and Carolinian Cultural Heritage Month, showcasing local arts have been brought to schools. Working with Project Proa, they presented a unique and very local style of painting to the students of NMC.
So today we have the banana painting, and we're working with the Carolinian Affairs Office. It's they come in and they bring the banana like stalk, and they cut it up to in different shapes, and then they teach the students how to paint with that. So they use regular paint, but you know, it's cultural. It's using something that's from our environment or outside here on our islands. We're using it so that we can make art.
Agatha Kitabengan from CAO stated that cultural arts does not only promote and preserve the culture, but it also brings out the vibrancy and creativity of the people. They continue to encourage the public to embrace the custom of the Marianas and be active in other activities. This is Sally Lemis for KSPN.
2 riots in 2 weeks at Guam High School's KUAM's news correspondent Adriana Cotero, we know her, reports from Tijan High School.
Several students were injured following a riot that broke out at a Tijan High School. This is the second such incident to occur at a local high school campus in as many weeks. Our very own Adriana Cotero reports.
Parents and guardians picking up students earlier than usual at Tijan High after a riot. Jose Cruz was there to pick up his grandson, unaware of what happened.
I'm sure I'll be glad to go in there and pick up my grandson now.
Students were released an hour early today at Tijan High School following a massive riot that broke out on the school grounds during the lunch hour. According to GPD spokesperson Sergeant Paul Tapau, 5 students have been brought into custody.
Police describe it as a full-scale riot that required a full-scale response.
Officers from the Higanya Precinct Command, to include the Tumuning Precinct Command, Southern, and the Northern Precinct Command, conjoined and provided assistance relative to this riot.
At 11:40 this morning, the school was placed on lockdown by the Guam Department of Education. However, Sergeant Tapau confirms cops were already on campus.
Can you confirm if GPD was already on the grounds? We heard there was a fight prior to the riot.
There was an incident where we had officers from the Higanya Precinct, and when the riot broke out, that's when we had the additional units coming in from the respective precinct command.
According to GDOE spokesperson Isa Baza, 7 students were injured. Guam Fire Department transported 2 students, and 1 parent took their child to the Guam Memorial Hospital for treatment. 4 were treated on scene by medics. Baza confirms that alcohol played a role in both of the recent riots at GDOE high schools. Superintendent John Fernandez said in a statement, quote, "We encourage our school administrators to use their authority to deliver the appropriate disciplinary consequences. And we need to be clear that acts of violence should not be tolerated in our school communities. When it comes to violence, I will support our administrators' decisions, especially when they recommend expulsion. Recommendations for expulsion will go through a disciplinary advisory committee, and final action will be presented to the superintendent for approval." Tapau confirms a police cruiser was also damaged during the response, and sources say there were nearly 40 individuals involved. For now, the case has been taken over by juvenile detectives.
The Guam Police Department will work closely with Tijan administration to include DOE's superintendent and the administration level to address this issue.
Just last week, a riot broke out at John F. Kennedy High School. Tapau confirms 1 student was taken into custody following that incident, is being charged as an adult.
We strongly ask the parents to please talk to your kids about what had happened today and what we can do collectively as a community to prevent this from happening, not just here, but throughout our island.
Words Cruz hopes people will heed, and happy his grandson wasn't harmed.
I don't know why they're doing it. You know, they're here to learn, not to fight.
Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Adriana Cotero.
And for more, check out KUAM.com. For Guam's News Network, I'm Chris Marnett.
Thank you for that, well, rather disturbing report, actually. All right, looking for potential basketball champions? Round up the usual suspects.
Faster, easier to use. With live TV, recordings, video on demand, and streaming apps, all in a single place. When you're looking for something new, recommendations are tailored to you. Voice-powered, personalized results to find what you want faster. And the unlimited potential of smart home. The new experience from TiVo is here.
Welcome to Marianas Medical Center. We've been taking care of you and your family since 1998. We offer preventive health care services, acute and chronic care for both adults and children.
微产期以及妇科的检查.
신생아 선별 검사 및 영유아 건강 검진.
Meron po kaming food handlers, green cards, school at sports clearances.
Grinig em Marianas Medical Center oferece todo klaseng serviço para a família mesmos here.
We accept Medicaid, Medicare, and most private insurance plans, and we also accept individuals without any medical insurance. We're conveniently located in the JKR building on Beach Road, Garapan. Marianas Medical Center, quality health care for your entire family.
Visit American Memorial Park, one of Saipan's leading visitor attractions. Open 7 days a week from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. The visitor center is located in Garapan, just a short walk from most hotels. This U.S. National Park honors the American and Marianas people who lost their lives in World War II during the Marianas Campaign. Entrance is free. Take time to view the main film, to learn about the Battle of Saipan, and walk through the extensive and fascinating museum exhibits. Don't forget to stop by the museum gift shop, which offers unique and exclusive merchandise. All proceeds are donated to the park's education program. Come discover the American Memorial Park.
Buenas sports fans.
Buenas sports fans, the AKMIBL Semi-Pro League is enjoying a hot pennant race between the Saipan Vegas and IT&E. Would IT&E bring it and stay undefeated along with the Aces? Well, let's see. Bridge Capital All-Stars, John Santos. The don't look past Eric De Leon Guerrero for the lay-in. Ernest Duenas, down court for the breakaway. Guerrero up, in, and down. And while they were feeling good about that, IT&E does the same thing to them. Tit for tat. Kill my dog, I'll kill your cat. Jacaranda. Left all... You cannot leave Jacaranda all alone or he will bury you. Oh! Elmer Estrelon, the long pass to Marlon de Dios. A horrible shot. Oh, there's J. Mart de Guzman filling up the box score. 18 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, and a couple of steals. Guerrero over to Santos. Oh, he's from... You know where he's from? Swish City. Leroy Rangamar, B3. Bingo! More de Guzman doing everything out there. Matt Duenas comes off the bench. He takes him like 3 seconds to score, and that's a signature move right there. Aranda finds Gerald Flores open. Duenas, he went for 16 points in this contest. Vince Terragezo had a
Game high 29. This is ITNE's signature play, the heave and hoist, the lightning strike to Errol Pareto. And well, you'd think other teams would catch on by now and release a guard to cover those. Oh well, 9 different players scored for ITNE in their 92-83 victory.
Well, today wasn't such a nice day to go out and play golf, which begs the question, when is our next golf tournament? Which begs the question, can I win a car? And the answer is yes, but you have to wait for it November the 10th. And that's when the Joten Kidzu Public Library will have its next golf tournament. Last year, remember, the tournament was blown away by that bad typhoon. Once again, golfers will have a chance to win a new car from Joten Motors for a hole-in-one.
Yeah, we're giving away a Honda Civic Sport. It's not as fast as a Type R, but it's a sport model above the LX version, so it's a great prize for this golf tournament.
Why are you doing it?
Because it's JKPL, Bob. Why not, man? We got to motivate people to go out and swing for a good cause.
And that cause is the Joten Kidzu Public Library, including their mobile library, the bookmobile that goes out into the villages to get books into the hands of children and those without transportation. Well, Monongahela was not the only recreational spot that reopened yesterday. The MHS gym reopened for interscholastic sports. No tourists were able to play on the beach for 5 days. No students were able to play in the Marianas High School gym for 4 years until Tuesday afternoon. The girls' high school volleyball season unwrapped in front of a large student body turnout at this after-school event, the place to be seen and compete at the highest level available for these student athletes. The league consists of defending champion Grace Christian Academy Eagles. 2 home teams for MHS plus Mount Carmel Knights bring 2 squads. Even little Saipan International School has a couple of Gecko teams. Gapi Christian School, Torchbearers, Saipan Southern Manta Rays, and Cagman High School at Zuzu round out this league. Games played on Tuesdays and Thursdays through October until the queens of the court are crowned and achieve immortality. And we'll go take a break and come back with immortal weather.
Here's the windup and the pitch.
I don't believe what I just saw!
Get your game and gear at Gold's Gym Saipan. Group exercise is a great way to get fit and then stay fit. For something high tempo, go for a ride with one of our instructors in our new spin room. Let's roll. Pilates improves flexibility, builds strength, and develops control and endurance in the whole human body. It also improves coordination and balance. And the Shake Cafe is a great place to stop by for a meal replacement or supplement. See you at Gold's Gym.
Traveling or laying over on Guam? Don't wait around. Zip into Guam Adventures Zipline Park inside the Hilton Resort and Spa. Guides will take you through a series of zips, starting with a mountain course and then zip over the ocean with spectacular views of Tumon Bay. 6 zip lines in all deliver a thrilling experience, and it's family friendly, so bring the kids ages 6 and up. You'll love the security of double lines and a new braking system to make riding smoother. The towers are named after the islands in the Marianas. We call it the Island Hopper. Your guides will teach you what you need to know to soar through the jungle with a bird's eye view. Best of all, for residents of Saipan, Tinian, and Rota, you can book this experience at 20% savings. Log on to GuamAdventures.com and during checkout, use offer code HAFA20. Book it and zip it today. We'll even pick you up. Temperature-wise, our high temperature was 85, and that was at 9 o'clock this morning. And then 3 hours later, it was 73. That's the lowest temperature we've had since February. The humidity, 88%. Tomorrow, well, more rain. North winds, 10 to 15. High 88, low 78. Seas 4 feet. Sunrise, 6:05. High tide at 10:56, followed by a low tide at 4:43, and then sunset at 6:15.
All right, yeah, interesting day. Started off, looked like it was going to be a beautiful day.
It was cold at lunchtime. What was that?
In fact, I saw in one of your stories you had to change the lead a little bit because in the prompter it said it was a great day to play golf.
And I think you wrote that this morning.
Edited that.
Well, I wrote it this morning, and it was such a beautiful
morning, I was like, wow, this is a great time to go out and play golf. Then I went home for lunch, and then late in the afternoon it got all yucky, and then I should have changed. I need to change it. Yeah.
Good edit on the fly there, Bob. That is news, sports, and weather on this Wednesday in the Commonwealth. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Good night.